Welcome to Missing the Homies. Today, I've got a special guest for you. He's waiting for us. Let's let him in the room. Welcome to the podcast. In a second. This guy's got poor people internet. And he dropped. Oh, wait, here we go again. Welcome to the podcast. There he is.
Hey, there we go.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Dude, it's so weird being on the other side of this. Also,
I know,
let me
right?
let me at least do horizontal. Let me do something right.
Oh shoot. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Dude, fucking awful.
Late night for you, huh?
Awful. I'm doing so bad right now, but I mean, I'm about to be better because we're gonna cut this pod. Question for you: would you like to start it off since you're the host this time?
Oops. He'll be right back with us, ladies and gentlemen. Man, this is bad content. This is
Dude,
bad.
this beginning part of this podcast is just an indicator of the fuck fest of a day I've had.
Right.
It's been so bad. It's been such a bad day.
All right, well, let's get this shit. Let's get this shit in order here. First
Hell
of all,
yeah,
your portrait mode again.
Damn, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
I know better than that.
Here we go. Everybody, welcome to Missing the Homies. It is a Wednesday, and I've got a special guest here rolling through Chicago town. Antonio, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me, Toast. Oh my god, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so like
shout out
this,
to all the viewers.
This pod means so much to me, and it means so much to me to have you on. I've already done like 4 different intros while you're waiting in the lobby, and every time it was just an absolute disaster.
Dude, welcome to my life. They're so bad every time. It literally takes me like 10 tries. And then I always just settle on like the one that is just like, what's up? You know what it is. You know what I'm doing here.
I know how it is. I know how it is. But here we are. Roll the intro.
What's up, guys? Have you ever watched Peter McKinnon?
Unfortunately.
Oh my gosh. His videos, amazing. I don't know if I love it or hate it, but his "What's up, guys" is it literally gets stuck in my head every time. And I don't watch his videos very often, but whenever I do, they're that "What's up?" Because it's like a beat.
Yeah, there's somebody else I was watching, and I'm trying to remember. I can't remember his name now, but I remember he goes, "That's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time." Who the hell is that?
I don't know. That sounds like a lot of YouTubers.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't. It's just so cringy most of the time. I don't know. Like, just sign off like a normal human being, please.
I know. I was like, oh my god, I hope Toast isn't about to like air me out right now and say, yeah, I was listening to this fucking weirdo who's like, okay, well, I guess that's it. Honestly,
I keep that
one of my better sign-offs is, all right, I guess that's it.
Bloody Beaver Moo is a pretty good one.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna make a horribly distasteful joke. I'll say it because you know what? I'm editing this. I'm about to go home to a bloody beaver moon.
Ooh. I'm so sorry, Renee.
It's okay. The best thing about this is that she'll never watch. Um,
Oh,
just
she
kidding.
watch?
She watches.
Does she watch any?
No, not that she doesn't watch any, but I would say one out of, I'd say like maybe a couple a month she'll check out.
Okay.
But every time I make a joke like, why didn't you watch the podcast this week? Or I like say something from the podcast, and she'd be like, "What's that from?" I'd be like, "Oh my god, okay, so you're a fake fan. You don't even watch the show."
Right.
And she's like, "I hear your half of every podcast." She's like, between the ones that you do with every guest and then
Mhm.
the ones with Tony. Um,
Oh yeah.
dude,
Yeah, she can
crazy.
just kind of fill in the gaps, honestly.
Yeah, she's
She's
like,
not missing much.
well, well,
Well.
she's gonna miss something at the end of this month.
She better be watching those. If those videos don't blow up, oh yeah, to all the viewers, Dad. Um,
Yeah, we're doing something a little different
yeah,
because
I know.
we overcommitted and under delivered.
Yes, we did the worst of both worlds.
The
Um,
worst of both worlds.
that being said, we got some time now, and we're gonna deliver some quality content at the end of this month. It's gonna be something. Let me
Dude,
tell you.
so I think no, never mind. I was gonna say I feel like I needed some help coming up with a video idea that I'm gonna do at the end of the month, but I thought about it today and I think I have an idea. But
Hmm. Oh yeah, you never even had an idea.
well, so I was can I tell you what I was gonna do for
Shoot,
my hobby video?
what's up?
Okay, so basically I'm realizing what I want to do with my YouTube channel now is just recreate videos that I like and I want to see more of because like the whole commercial thing that your challenge, I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh my god, this is so much fun." Like
Mhm.
just and I didn't think the like tactical scrubber was that great of like I don't think it was that well written because I had to do it so like the quick turnaround it kind of kills
Right.
like all of the effort that you want to put into it. But I
Yeah.
like had a good time. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. Like, and everybody that I had be a part of it like was dying when I was telling them what the like whole idea of the video was. And I've
Right.
sent it to everybody. Everybody's like, "That's so funny." So I think the idea was good, but I
Yeah.
think it just needs to be improved upon. So what I was
Yeah.
gonna do for this.
Yeah. And to that point, I feel like it's fun to do these little projects, and
Mhm.
and like a lot of them can be short enough where you can whip it out in a relatively short period of time. But I feel like to do it justice, you actually kind
Mhm.
of have to spend the time, and it comes out
Yeah.
so good.
Oh, a hundred
Yeah.
percent.
It's
Um,
worth the time. It's worth the time.
and especially for something like what you're gonna do,
Mhm.
I feel like it lends itself better when you put more time into it.
Mhm.
But like, whereas my commercial, I was I outlined it, which I do with very few videos.
Mhm.
Um, but I always feel like the ones that I outline turn out better.
Okay.
But with the short turnaround, I found myself cutting things from my own outline, and I was like, huh, this is like, it was things that made it better and more streamlined. So
Mhm.
I'm like, that was like a weird practice for me because I was like, huh, I do ramble sometimes. Like, even when I'm not just sitting there talking to the camera, like, "What's up, YouTube?" I feel like I have so many ideas that some of the videos are just like bogged down with
Mhm.
all of those ideas. And not that they're bad, but I feel like it's too much sometimes.
Right.
Um, so I feel like that was like a really good practice because now I'm going to sit there and be like, well, does this actually need to be in here? Or would it be better if this was shorter or this wasn't in there.
Right.
So
Well,
I
I'm
wanted to
excited
tell
to see
you
it.
that. So okay, so what I was gonna
Right.
do with my original video or the vlog that was gonna come out this week. One of the YouTubers I really like, which I think you should look him up because he makes the it's my particular brand of like I love it. His name is
Mhm.
Mike Boyd,
Mike
and
Boyd.
what he'll do is he'll literally pick something like what's
I'm looking him up while you're talking.
like
Uh,
for videos. So like go through, watch a couple. Don't watch that one first. But if you like his videos and you watch a couple, go through and watch that later. But like he
oh
goes
shoot.
through the process of like learning a new skill. So like there's
Oh,
he tries to break a wine glass by singing or like doing like
nice. Okay.
I guess that would be singing. But like the way he breaks down the videos, and it's a lot of like time lapses of him practicing whatever it is.
Okay.
And he'll go from like never having done it to being able to do whatever the thing that he sets out to do.
Right.
And throughout the video, there's just like a running timer in the corner of how many hours he spent practicing it.
Okay.
And then when he finally does it, it like the timer stops and it dings. And the time stamp in the corner is like, oh, it took him 56 hours and whatever to figure out how to do that. And I was like, oh, I love that idea. So what I was gonna do was I've picked up my yo-yo again, which is a wild thing to say.
The fact that you just had one laying around.
Well, I spent $35 on it when I was like 12. And when I was 12, $35 was $1,000,000. So of course I kept it.
I had a yo-yo when I was like 10, 12, that kind of range too, that I thought was the coolest because it was like the biggest and heaviest one. And
Mhm.
I swear to God, you tie that thing around your finger and you let it go, it about rips your finger off.
They, when I used to practice, I used to have lines on my fingers from where it was cutting off circulation because so that was a thing that I used to do. I would just like get really like hyper. Well, now I know it's my ADHD, but like I used to just get hyper focused on something, and like all I would do was that thing. And I remember Brian, um, shout out to Brian Dickow. He showed me his yo-yo when he was and he was like a million times better than I was. Like Brian was like entering competitions and shit.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, like when we go on this trip, I'm gonna bring my yo-yo and be like, "Yo, Brian, bust out some moves."
No, don't even say anything. Just bring it out and just like watch him sweat across the room.
Yeah, watch
He
like
looks at it, he's like,
those 3 beats of sweat are just gonna
and
form
all you
on
have
his
to do is just fumble around with it and really, really struggle. He's just like, no, you're doing it.
so yo-yoing was one of the things I did, and I would just this is also where I was 100% convinced that you could learn anything on YouTube, which I still stand by that statement.
It's true.
Um,
It's true.
and so I would just stand in front of the computer for hours practicing these yo-yo tricks, and I got a couple of down, and I still have a couple like committed to muscle memory.
Right.
But so I brought it when we moved into our new place. It was just like in a box, and I was going through my stuff one day, and I broke it out, and Renee's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "This is my yo-yo," and she's like, "A yo-yo? What are you talking about? What is that?" Like, not what is that, but like, why do you have that? And so I was like, "Oh, let me show you something real cool." Thinking I'm cool as fuck, breaking out this yo-yo, doing yo-yo tricks, and she was like, I feel like I catfished Renee because the past couple of years I've been like really getting into my nerd bag, which
Oh
was
no.
something that I wasn't allowed to do when I lived at my parents' house.
Right.
So now I'm just letting my freak flag fly.
Oof.
Um, and so yeah, so the video, what I was gonna do was I was going to, since it was such a short turnaround, I literally was gonna film this in 3 days. I was gonna do day one,
Mhm.
where I was at with like no practice, because
Mhm.
every now and then I'll just like pick it up and throw it and just like, it's got one of those like ball bearings, so you throw it and it just goes.
Yeah. Right.
And I love the sound, and my little cat Sweaty loves the sound, so we play with my yo-yo.
That's
So I
pretty
was gonna
cool.
do day one, no practice. Day
Mhm.
two, I was just gonna do a montage of however much time I had over like 2 days
Right.
and practice yo-yo tricks. And then I was gonna do day three where I was at and do like a bunch of tricks.
It's just like I'm no better at it.
Yeah, I literally I was thinking that would have been funny to do. Like, well, turns out you can't learn anything in 3 hours of practice.
Right. No, that's a
So
great idea though, honestly. And I feel like that's that whole concept, like the way he does his videos, was just, hey, this thing I don't know how to do.
mhm.
And I kind of had this thought last week. I'm like, you know how much money you could save if you just learned how to do everything on your own and like source your own raw materials and manufactured everything your own? I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's literally just how stuff works. You just pay so you don't have to do it.
dude, you're and what's crazy is you strike me as somebody who would do that shit. Like just
Yeah.
because you would think it's fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so, I love that. I think that's so funny.
No, I'm absolutely down for stuff like that because when I was proposing to Maria, I'm like, dang, diamonds are expensive and like it's artificial too, right? Like that they don't cost that much. They're not worth that
No,
much. It's just
unless it's a blood diamond.
it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Um, so my thinking was like, dang, what if I went out, mined my own diamond, and like learned how
You wanted to find
and I
your
was
own
just like, I'm gonna
diamond?
mine my own diamond. I'm gonna go, and I thought about this the other day too, and I'm like, man, you know what? I can like get her really nice jewelry. How do they make it in a lab? Maybe I can build that. um,
Yeah. Some people mind their own business, and you want to mine diamonds. I love that.
why not? um, so I started looking into the equipment to build like a vapor deposition chamber to like actually seed diamonds.
You were gonna build your own vape?
It's a certain kind of vape. It's kind of a fancy one, you know. um, turns out it's really expensive for the equipment. And then it takes you down a whole rabbit hole of like, okay, well, I could build the equipment, but then I'm gonna need like a really expensive CNC. You know, like it's absolutely silly. Um,
Yeah.
but no, it's just like taking kind of like a product, a thing, something that people are experts at, and then doing it yourself or discovering it or learning it is super duper rewarding. Then
Dude,
again,
I'm not.
it's just a matter of time, right?
Yeah, it's how much time are you willing to put into it?
Mhm.
And it's it's crazy. Like, dude, watching, especially if you were thinking about making Maria jewelry, you should
Mhm.
watch Mike Boyd's
Right.
engagement video.
I need to talk
And
to I need to talk to Brian's what I need to do.
yeah, or you could talk to Brian.
Right.
Oh shit.
Oh geez.
This lady, this lady is pulled right up to her car. Um, but
Yeah,
um,
she probably would do that, yeah.
yeah, fair.
Anyway.
Dude, I like thank you for this. Literally, I like hopped in the car so fucking mad.
Right.
So fucking mad from rehearsal. I got yelled at for swearing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this fucking third grade? Fuck you. Who's yelling at an
Wait.
adult for swearing?
Why did you swear? Was it just for
Oh,
were you frustrated because you were there in the first place, or what's going on?
So I was swearing because I don't know how much of this I want to put on the internet. Let's see. Let's say I was swearing because I am so frustrated with the state of the show that I'm working on. Today is Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
The show opens on Friday.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I'll
have
say.
to have that locked down at this point.
Some would think, and some, I guess, don't think that. But
some may be wrong. We'll find out Friday.
I don't know. I'll definitely have an update post show. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Is this like middle school? Who the fuck cares?
Right.
We're adults.
Yep. Oh geez.
But anyways,
that's fun. I kind of want to go see this show now. I just want to see how much of a disaster it turns out to be.
Yeah, come to Chicago. I'll get you tickets.
Let's go.
Also,
so, be like, the show sucks, but the sound is great, man.
Just heckling from the crowd. Like, who is this guy?
Drove from Michigan for this.
Are you kidding me? Boo! Just start booing the kids. Oh my god, that would be
I've got so a basket funny. Of tomatoes. I'm good.
Have you ever gone to a Renfen or a Renaissance festival?
Yeah. We used to go to the Michigan one when we were kids. We had some family that lived or we had some friends that lived in Fenton for a while. So it was just like right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to the Ohio Renaissance Festival a couple times, and actually just recently back in early October.
I ask because you can throw tomatoes at people, which
it's getting expensive to do that nowadays, though.
Is there
$20 a bushel? Holy smokes!
What?
Yeah, it's
just heard today that there's a national lettuce shortage.
Wait, when was that? Like, I feel like it was maybe last year when I feel like there were a bunch of just like rolling shortages.
I don't know. I still don't fully understand the chip shortage. Like where they're like, oh, that's why cars are more expensive. That's why.
Oh, I thought you were talking like potato chips. On there's a potato chip.
Oh my gosh, no. Bro, no. Let me tell you, I'm contributing to that shortage.
What do you mean you don't understand the chip shortage?
Well, I don't understand why there is a short. Like, I don't understand the materials that go into the chips. Because I understand the concept of like shortage. There's not enough, but like I don't know what materials I guess go into the stuff that there's a shortage for. So yeah,
I think it's more where did the chips come from?
Oh, Russia. Mm-hmm. Is it Russia or China?
Some China, a lot of Taiwan.
Okay.
Like a lot of Eastern Asian countries like produce. I mean, that's where a lot of the production facilities are. I mean, you have TSMC, that's a big foundry. I mean, Intel does a lot of production stateside. Mm-hmm. Intel's got their own problems, right? And they don't manufacture chips outside of, they don't do automotive stuff. They don't do phones. They don't do that kind of stuff. So, there are a multitude of reasons. We don't have to get into the nitty gritty.
We don't have the time to go into the socioeconomic reasons.
We don't have to discuss global trade impediments and stuff of that nature on this pod. A little bit out of scope.
Bill, if you want to give all the info, put it in the comments because that will be helpful to some people.
Yeah,
just like,
but no, there was a time though where I feel like every every time you get on the computer, every time you would turn on the local news, there's and we're experiencing, like you said, a lettuce shortage, or it'd be like a tortilla shortage, or just
Or
just a
like a
bunch of.
peanut butter. I swear there was a
Hmm.
oh no, the peanut butter was the salmonella thing. Never mind. That was really that
Oh,
that
the
one really bummed me
recalls,
out.
yeah, those two. The baby formula was kind of spooky for a while.
Yeah, how was that
I mean, we haven't
for
done
you?
formula for Lila. We did for Logan. It was fine then, but yeah, it's kind of scary
Oh
because
yeah,
I mean, if you really just can't feed your child by any other means, what do you do?
yeah, that's so scary. My buddy Tony, dude. Also, I don't know if I've told you this. Maybe I've told him. You and my buddy Tony
Mhm.
are like, you guys remind me of each other so much, and I love both of you like to the same degree. And every time I talk to one of you, I'm like, oh my god, I just talked to them. I'm like, no, that was the other person. Like literally, I was texting Tony right before this, and I was like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta get on a pod. And I was like, wait, we're not recording tonight. I'm like, no, that's with Andrew. Fuck.
the other, the other Tony.
But yeah, so I remember he was telling
Right.
me about the formula shortage because
Mhm.
he had just him and his wife had just had their kid, and I like
Mm.
can't imagine how scary that would be.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, everybody's gonna make do somehow, right? But I mean,
Mhm.
I look back to how we were with Logan, and we needed the formula, right? There was no other option, for us at the time, so guess he's gonna have to start getting in the chicky nuggies earlier.
We get him some wangs, dude. I'm so nervous
Ooh.
about.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
So
we got.
yeah, I think we should swap from the socioeconomic talk
It's getting depressing, right?
to
There's a shortage of light topics in this in this pod today.
speaking of shortages.
Speaking of shortages, go ahead.
So I mean, I think so moving forward, we are definitely cutting back on the vlogs, even though we only each of us only did one.
It took a lot. Okay.
It did take a lot. And so we're gonna cut back on the vlogs. We're gonna do more pods, but I think this is something that I would like to workshop with you while we do this,
Mhm.
because I think the stream of conscious pods are kind of boring, but I have slowly inched my way to the once a week pod because, dear
Mhm.
viewer, if you'll take a trip with us from when we first started this a year ago, um, I mean, it started with the vlogs back and forth, and that was too much. And then it was once every couple of days, and that was too much. And then we did the pods, and then the pods twice a week, and that was too much. So
Mhm.
now I think but to me, the once a week is not enough. It doesn't feel like enough. Um,
It
for,
feels special.
it yeah, maybe it
Mhm.
it doesn't feel like enough for me,
Mhm.
not content wise. Like I could give a fuck about that, because I was going from twice a week talking to my friends, and I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to talk to my friends less, but I understand that like the
Right.
whole recording thing causes it's not just sitting here talking. But
Yeah.
that's something I think that we should work on, like sort of just workshop it together. Like I want to know what you think moving
Okay.
forward that I could do with like other people,
Mhm.
because I'm not going to spoil what we're doing at the end of the month, but I think that is
Right.
going to be phenomenal. And I would
Mhm.
really like to maybe even do that, but like a different spin on it with
Right.
everybody
Yeah.
once a month.
Well, so it's interesting because I mean, well, I feel to some degree with kind of the short films or the little video projects and stuff that we challenge each other to. I mean, we're both into that. I mean, I guess that's
Hmm.
your pursuit to some degree.
Yeah.
And that might not be everybody's, right?
Right.
So yeah, part of it's hard to say, okay, let's do some video production challenge or something like that. Because I mean, then you have to have Premiere or some kind of editing software. They got to learn that, which is it's a big ask for anybody that's never really done it before. Um,
Which I had the audacity to ask some of my friends to do that,
mhm.
and they did it. Like,
Yeah, and
I
so
fucking love that.
yeah, I feel
But
like if you're
that's
gonna
it. That was insane.
yeah, if you're gonna plan it out ahead of time, I mean, propose the idea and kind of pushing people into that creative avenue might be they might realize that they enjoy it or it's something that they like to do that they had no idea they would have liked before. And you can kind of uncover talent or creativity that would have just kind of gotten quiet for a while. So um that is pretty cool. um but I mean, there are other ways you can do it, and I draw inspiration from, I suppose, other YouTube channels.
Hmm.
Instead of doing kind of these long-winded pods where we just kind of chat for 30 minutes or something like that, um, have the pod achieve something specific. Um,
Yeah.
to the viewers at home, uh, do we want to spoil it?
No, we can't. We can't. We've built it up.
Shoot, okay. But
We've
you know
mentioned
what
it
I'm
a few
talking
times.
about.
I know what you're talking about.
Right. So, I feel like you could take the pod, put a game on it, make like a guessing game. You know, you ever watch the Good Mythical Morning Boys?
I haven't, but I
Okay,
they pop up on my like feed,
right.
and I haven't actually sat down and watched them though. But I
Okay.
know they're.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty big name. I feel like some people like them more than others, but um every video they do is usually food centric or something like that.
Hmm.
But they usually do games, kind of guessing games or blind tasting games and stuff like that. It's just fun, and they have conversation in and amongst that. So they're doing something. And
Yeah.
there's an entertainment aspect there, and then as they experience it and they experience it together, that kind of breeds its own conversation and stuff too, which is kind of cool. So I feel like you could give these pods more direction in
Yeah.
some way like that. I'm it's all
And
off the
see,
cuff. I'm just you know
no,
thirsty.
no, no. I'm totally with you. And even you saying that, like, I feel
Mhm,
like some of the gears turning, because like I feel like I touched on it
mhm,
uh when Doran was the guest, because we there was a couple episodes where both of us bought Gundam figures, and
right.
he has built them. I never had, so I was like just super excited. But both of us put the put the Zoom on. I put
Mhm,
on like some royalty free music, and we sat there and we didn't really like talk or look at each other. We
right.
were just sitting there building, and we would like have like a little conversation while we were going. And I was like, so yeah, I really like that. And
Yeah.
even you saying like everybody has their own creative outlet, like
Mhm,
I'm almost thinking that, like, you know how we're doing the video at the end of the month,
mhm,
um that like maybe I could talk about it beforehand with
mhm.
whoever the guest is going to be, and be like, what is your creative outlet? How can we work on that together for the month,
And
and more make it.
here's an idea. You were talking about that dude that's learning all the different skills and stuff.
Mhm.
What if you approach it as in, hey, you're my guest for the month?
Teach me.
What are your creative talents? What's something you're interested in? What's something you're good at? Teach me. And then you kind of explore that together. And it might be like a show and tell thing. Maybe somebody's really into painting. Maybe you pick up, a cheap
paint by
canvas or
number.
something like that, and you do a little episode where they try to guide you, and you do like a painting in 30 minutes or something, and you just have conversation whilst you're doing it. Stuff like that I
Fuck,
think would be cool.
dude. That's fucking. That just got me excited.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
what the fuck? Ugh. And I love shit like that because like even should we do a podcast, that was the whole premise.
Mhm.
Was I told everybody that I did it. Oh yeah, you fucking did it. But like for the people who don't know, Bill, should we
You
do a
did.
podcast was like my first try at a podcast series,
Mhm.
and my whole goal was to talk the least amount. I
Mhm.
told everybody, I was like, if I talk 0 this episode, it will be a success for me. Because my whole goal was to try and like zero in on what people would not shut up about.
Right.
Like what got you so excited that you want to talk at me for an hour.
Right.
That's what
You find people's passion and you learn from that. And I feel if you were to do, I don't know, let's say once a week or something, let's say you did 4 pods, maybe you do more than that.
Mhm.
It could be just a different level or a different degree of exploration into that talent. Or maybe they got multiple talents, multiple things they're interested in, multiple things they want to share. Kind of have, whatever your guest is into, be the premise of that month. And you're just there to learn, explore it along with them, and ultimately learn something new. Maybe
dude.
something you didn't even know about them in the first place, right?
Dude, you just fucking rocked my world. Like, fuck. I love that.
I'm just gonna say I've got the login to this YouTube channel, so I think I'm taking over.
You just it's just like I'll post a video, you post the next day. It's just like I don't know what that was. Today the real show. It's like a counter show
Right.
on the same channel. That
This
would
guy
be so
even
fun.
hates editing. What is this?
God, he can't even cut his own videos out. Dude, I love
I
that.
love it.
Yeah. I think I'm definitely that's gonna go on one of my whiteboards. I'm gonna noodle on that. I love that.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, we got a minute and a half. So in a minute and a half, you can go upstairs and you can go noodle that down.
Dude, in a minute and a half, I'm gonna go inside my apartment and cry myself to sleep.
Well, sleep is sounding pretty good right now. I'm
Yeah,
way
dude,
past my bedtime.
I wanted to say with the last minute, thank you so much for holding out tonight. I very much appreciate this. Like very selfishly, I needed this tonight. So thank
Right.
you.
You are welcome. I'm always here. I've I've just been sitting here with Zoom open, just kind of twiddling my thumbs. I was like, 10 o'clock.
That's
Interesting.
that's my life.
All right. Anyway, wrapping it up today. Thank you, Antonio, for being here today. Really,
Of course, happy to
really,
be friend of the show. Love the pod. Love what you're doing. Can't
love
wait
you,
to see what
Dad.
you do.
See you later.
Love you, Bill. Peace.
All right.
Talk
see
to
ya.
you. Peace.